The SEC blue balls Bitcoin ETF application. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk get ready for the battle of a lifetime, and altcoins hang on the edge as Bitcoin remains at 29.3. Let's get it. The blockchain basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there. But if we do, that's kind of where we.
Welcome one, welcome all. We have the creepy Deezy down on the couch.
Everybody, how's it all going?
Yeah. We got Mr. Biscuit Jesus hanging out there. You know, I can't see his face right now. It's making me uncomfortable, but he's behind the PTZ.
Looking at Pokemon cards.
Preoccupied.
Hannah, back from Las Vegas.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Cool. How was that?
It was good. Work hard, play hard. Happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
First trip?
Oh, boy.
No, I've been there a few times now.
No. Vegas is
We're
chaos.
back.
Every time I went to Vegas, I'd go out every night with a few $100 and I'd end up with $20 left in my pocket. And then I would come back up, get back up to however many hundreds of dollars, and then, you know, stay up all night and lose it all again, down to $20 again. So that's my experience in Vegas. I love the gigantic drinks that they sell, though. Those are fantastic. But welcome in the chat.
Souvenirs.
Yeah. What do they call those things?
Yard drinks.
Yard drinks.
Like
I love having them.
The Eiffel Towers.
Yeah.
Popular.
They make
something
you feel
different.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sugar, but they still short term if you're not in it every day. Shane Hansen, Crimson Caravan, Solar Miner in Spain, Michael King, Dill Cosby. Wow, what a name, Dill Cosby. Justin Eubanks, Alexandra. Thank you all for joining us today.
You get the Jello.
Yeah, I was on early with Piano Matty B this morning. DZ.
Yeah.
Really good to be able to. It was just so cool to be on with Piano Matty B. He is one of the earliest like TA people that I had followed, you know, in crypto when I started actually getting more interested in the charts rather than just the tech and the blow off top in 2017, watching it from afar for a long time and gathering my resources to get in, pull the trigger in March. But I was watching Piano Matty B during the whole flu season, and it was really cool to be on with that guy.
Fantastic intro. Let's all sing it together. Bitboy Crypto Morning TA. It was really
Crickets.
good. Yeah. Good melody.
Very musical. I'm feeling musical. I'm going out, playing the show, getting all psyched up.
Oh,
These are our albums here. We had discs, you know what I mean? I remember when I was in the band hardcore, I was like, guys, we should put them on MP3s or digital, you know, like forms rather than all these discs. Sold a good amount of discs. That was, you know, in a band, you make the money and you survive by selling things in person more so than anything when you're on the up and come, you know, just kicking some butt at a big show, and then everyone wants your stuff. So then you sell it to them, and that's how your gas money is made.
Crypto D's, he's been on ATB. So that's probably why we follow the person. Why is there some drama with Miggy? I don't know.
Let's hear it. No, he's going to be on. I think he's on tonight at ATB. He's on tonight on ATB. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
what happened? What's the tea?
What is this? We're gonna find out some inside info. And then Scaramucci's. Yeah, Scaramucci's. That guy's fantastic. Piano Matty B. Go find him on YouTube. He's a great person.
He always has his his set. He'll be in the mental hospital. He'll have
Yeah.
people walking by. You guys got to watch ATB and watch when Matty B's on because
He
it's always
switched it
something
up.
different.
Now it's a beach house.
It's the beach house.
It's always something different. It's always something new. He's cool.
Oh man, the markets are being kind of boring though today. I mean, it's Shiba Inu looks like just over the 7-day, it's up the most. So the 24-hour Thor chain, Shiba Inu, Fracshare. Johnny was talking about Fracshare. I see it making a move. Basic attention token. Is this thing going to exist next cycle? Do you think? Is this one of those to be dinosaurs?
I mean, I guess they semi have a tokenomic, right? But I mean, they eliminate all the advertising. So do they have tokenomics? I don't know. So if you don't know, it's the Brave browser. The underlying token is the basic attention token. The more you use Brave, the more basic attention token you're rewarded. So I mean, it just seems like a coin that's just nonstop sell pressure.
Yeah. I mean, like I used this Brave browser through kind of like this time frame right here and accumulated a lot of Brave tokens just by being on the internet, you know, doing my day-to-day process of heavy research. Before I was in crypto and all that stuff and security, I was into research and headhunting. So that's basically, you know, how I accumulated a bunch of BAT tokens.
Flashback said they stopped giving out rewards. I haven't used it in a year.
Yeah?
So.
Well, I'll have to look into that because if they stopped giving out rewards, that's bearish. I'd say that's bearish.
Some would say it's bullish because there's no sell pressure.
Well, true. But what use case is it, you know?
Good point.
You know, what use case is it? That was the whole thing. Governance. I mean, community, you know, like it was just a cool project at the time. Like when this blow off top happened last cycle, I mean, that was awesome to, you know, utilize the internet, get paid in crypto. And then it actually turned out really well. And it did put in a higher high here. It's not like a horrible looking graph, I wouldn't say. Just, you know, what if they get rid of the coin?
No, people saying they still get rewards.
Yeah.
So he's lying to us.
Lying to me. That's why we like the chat. You can always get the reality of the situation right there in the chat. But yeah, markets are being kind of boring. They're actually some of the biggest losers were ones that I was waiting to get into, which is kind of making me happy. Like here's XDC pulling back a little bit. Glad to have it.
Rocket Pool is one I'm looking at as well.
Rocket Pool is okay. Because this is like the inverse thought process that I have in crypto. It's like when everything is pulling back, this is where I get excited. This is the 1 month on XDC. Still kind of up there. That could still be a bull flag. And then you were talking about, let's see here, it's the losers.
Rocket Pool is like the
Pool.
poor man's Lido DAO, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Let's see here. This is time for live investigation. This is what I'm getting a chance to actually look into what I'm going to deploy back into. Took a bunch of profits in altcoins and meme coins. Now I've been sniping around, digging in the bushes for the right kind of entry point. Look at that. That's kind of a good, consistent lower high right there. So that doesn't look bad. And Rocket Pool, you say, I think it is in that Ethereum staking competition kind of realm, right? So, okay. Well, that's interesting. ARK Invest got denied though today. So we're probably got some pain ahead. Not really denied, but just delayed, kind of blue balled. The SEC has officially delayed Cathie Wood's ARK Invest spot Bitcoin ETF application. This is an interesting note. SEC on ARK Invest spot Bitcoin ETF is the regulated market of a significant size does not require that the spot Bitcoin market be regulated in order to for the commission to approve this proposal. It seems like kind of an interesting statement. DZ, what do you take from that? Does this statement from the SEC really give you any value on what their mindset is if they're just delaying to give more time in the markets for us to assess?
I mean,
this?
the rumor is they're delaying Cathie and ARK so BlackRock can walk through the front door at the same time as everybody, or being the first wave of people. We don't really have any proof. It's a lot of speculation, but it's speculation that passes the sniff test, a speculation that kind of makes sense. This is just kind of, harping on the details. They're going to give you some details on why they're delaying. I wouldn't believe it. Would you believe it? It's, it's like trusting the experts here. It's
right.
like, yeah, here's the real reason we had to delay Cathie Wood and ARK.
Right.
There's a good chance in my book, this is just all hearsay and tinfoil hat wearing. There's a good chance that, they want BlackRock to be the first wave.
Oh, and BJ and me were riffing on this idea a while back that they probably will dump the market to get a better entry point into the actual ETF when the time comes for BlackRock, not per se at a 30K level per Bitcoin is when we were talking about this. But we were thinking that might play into why we would see the price of Bitcoin get suppressed back down into the 25 area potentially. 28 seems like a potential. That's like best case scenario for where, in my mind, where we fall down to in Bitcoin. But I mean, it seems like there's going to be a delay, a little bit of boredom setting in for the market over the next few months, which might lull a lot of people to sleep. But with that happening, we'll see altcoins, pull back. Some altcoins obviously will, I remember seeing it last cycle, like, everything is flat and not really going on, but there's these few coins that are just killing it. And you're sitting there looking at this giant wick and you're just like, what did I miss out on? Did I just miss out on everything? Is this the real thing that everyone's moving to? But then it comes back down.
Is that really you, Hannah?
Yeah, that's
What's
me.
all that red?
Me and chat.
What's all that red? Is that blood? What's on your
Are you
profile
dying
pic
in
right
that picture?
Yeah, it looks like a weird Angelina Jolie photo.
Oh, it's a bandana. It was the bandana.
Okay. I was like, why you got some
A
weird
weird
like
Angelina
Illuminati
Jolie
photos?
photo?
Okay.
Does anyone have feels for XEC?
I don't know.
I have never heard of it. Never heard of it. Maybe I'll check it out. Not live on stream. I don't know. I don't want to run into a pile of doo-doo here live in front of everyone. Maybe I'll check it out. Let me see. Don't pull up my computer. This might be embarrassing.
Do it.
Let's see.
All right, so reading some of the chat here. Hey, Dree, first-time live viewer, long-time follower. So he'd been here since the first episode. So hello.
Shout out Dree.
Miss Casper, Fade and Tradfi. Miss Casper. I miss Casper as well. This one, I'm definitely like, I want to smack myself as well. Let's see. BJ is metal. Is
BJ
metal
is
the
metal.
devil or just partner?
Me and BJ are going to start a band.
Wait.
You
Oh, yeah,
should.
we are.
We're
Yes.
going to start a band. Eventually, it's
Who
going to
else?
happen.
You're going to get Adam in it? Brad?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Adam.
Brad.
We could
Brad
get Adam.
Varnell.
Brad,
I
what's
really
he play?
keep not
Maddie
remembering.
B. On the piano.
We got to get hit music really hitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's in hits. Casper,
Adam?
is this enough of a pullback here?
I mean, we
Casper's on
might
my
have
hit
some,
list here.
speaking of which, might have some guest stars next Friday.
Really?
We might be able to convince them to come on the show.
That would be lit.
I mean, they want to come to the studio, so
really?
that'd be kind of cool to get them on the show.
That would be
I have
super
no
cool.
guarantees on that. So.
Bad interest.
I
Okay.
still
Yeah, well, they don't
know if
want
they're
to do it. Hit him with the Rusty Shackelford pocket sand.
coming. Well, if we're talking about music, it's probably the rusty trombone.
Rusty Shackelford, man. Dale Gribble. What a
Way
guy.
ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time. I mean,
Decades.
He used to be my profile picture on Facebook for years.
Mike Judge is a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. Casper, I don't think it doesn't look like it's pulled back enough for me to really feel great about getting in. I'd probably be wanting something around here. Yeah, this is not anywhere near. It's still 4.3. This thing would have to fall by a substantial amount. I mean, me and you bring up Casper, we're looking at, is this like, what is your level where you would feel like
I mean, I really don't have one at this point.
Yeah.
Now I just feel like, all right, the ship is left, right? So, I mean,
it
still
has?
think there's some big gains.
Yeah.
Where are they at on market cap?
So 878 mil.
That's so high.
That's almost
yeah.
$1
I would buy a
billion.
small amount if I bought some.
What
Right?
even is Casper? I know we've talked about it. I just completely
That's a great
forgot.
question.
It's just another DAG. It's just another DAG. You know, but-
ISO narrative.
no, not really. DAG
No.
doesn't really fall on the ISO narrative necessarily. DAG's more so kind of just in general, and I'm not a dev, and there's a lot of heinously intelligent devs that are interested in DAGs and Casper and Constellation. But
I mean, did the voice actor die or something? Why does everyone keep spamming Dale?
Dale?
Yeah, Rusty Shackelford. Someone said R.I.P. Dale
No.
Gribble, and then another person.
Hopefully Dale didn't die.
Praise hell, praise Dale.
No, raise hell, praise Dale. That's right. Absolutely.
No, that's a different one.
Let's
Wait,
see.
didn't
We
that
didn't know he
Dale,
died.
his last greatest hit was the same as the Pink Floyd's?
Oh, voice actor
The
dead.
Wall?
Voice actor is
Never
dead. R.I.P.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he died yesterday.
Dude.
In peace.
Oh man, rest
Oh,
in
my
peace,
God.
Dale.
I hate when people die.
Well, and especially gems like that. Yeah,
Also, shout out to Beastmaster69420 for telling everyone I'm shilling them to my stake pool. NES.
NES.
and Caspa's proof of work. And DAGs in general, they're just said to be more optimal for data encryption and security. We'll see. It's a whole separate narrative of metagraphs and all this stuff. It's got to have its chance to shine in the sun. It exists. They're building it out. It might do so. This is not a small market cap play. I mean, I think Constellation DAG is only like $50 million market cap or something.
Yeah, I feel like I should just increase my DAG position.
This is almost $1 billion already. That's a move.
It's a high market cap. 800 million doesn't have much room.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have to think of the narrative hasn't caught on yet, right? And it's already might be kicked. But I'm waiting for it to basically come down by about 30%. Let's see what other news we had today. Oh yeah, this is just the overscope. This is kind of what I was talking about on the title today. And this is from Eric Podwolski. Is that what I was saying? I think that's how you said. You only have a few more years to get one BTC. Now, it is relative. He's probably just referring to middle class or lower class people that, are trying to be on the up and come. Obviously, I know there's rich people out there that already have it made and you already got it all figured out. But we're here to help people on the up and come as well. So pick up a side job, level up skills for a promotion, sell unwanted items around the house. This is just a once in a lifetime opportunity. You should be taking action now. And this really rang true to me. This kind of brought up what I did in the last market.
I like how much that looks like the clock from the Time Authority.
A Time Authority?
Yeah, from Loki.
Oh yeah.
Miss Clock or whatever.
Well, I mean, this just struck a chord with me just internally.
You know what my favorite Bitcoin metric is? I think it's a great goal for everyone to try to have one Bitcoin. Right? There's only going to be 20 million floating. There's really only going to be 16 million of them floating around, give or take or so. 16 million Bitcoin. You want one. You know how many millionaires there are in the world?
Right.
More.
There are. I just pulled it up. Come on, stupid face thing. 56 million millionaires. Okay, so if there's only about 16 million Bitcoin that are going to be floating around, that's every millionaire can only get a third of a Bitcoin. Pretty bullish.
That's huge.
Clip that.
Huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And that's something that I thought about when I learned about, there's 21 million Bitcoin in general. Probably a few million are lost forever. And we have a lot of people that are ahead of the norm that are pretty bullish on Bitcoin or just, digital payments and infrastructures like that were getting in on it. And that exact metric came in. I was like, man, there's probably, I didn't know the exact number. That's a lot of millionaires. How many 500 million millionaires? Is that how much? 56
million millionaires.
56
right?
million.
The billionaire number was pretty low. There's not that many billionaires. There's only two. Geez, that's a lot more than I thought. 2,700 billionaires. I remember when there was 10.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
People, I think that there's some metrics that point to, a consolidation of wealth out of lower and middle class over the last 3 years into higher numbers and more concentrated pools of these people that have a lot of money. So as a middle class person, if you get your hands on one whole Bitcoin and you have the conviction to hold multiple cycles at the minimum, you know what I mean? That is where I felt like the real good stuff comes from. It is what I'm starting to see absolutely now that I'm still holding that bag into this next process. And what I did to really, as an up and comer, I had a great paying job and then the jab pushed me out. They required some things, pushed me around a little bit. I was out of there. And I had to take on 3 full-time jobs. One of them was actually my own business, building fences. And then I worked 2 additional full-time jobs each day doing that so that I could hold on to the home that I had, but yet still buy a Bitcoin and protect it through the hyperinflationary environment is what it felt like that I experienced over the last 2 or 3 years with 4 kids. Yeah. A lot of single people, they're like, this inflation ain't that bad. You tell that to me, I'm literally dropping, probably half of my income on food. Maybe even more.
I sacrificed a lot. 2019, I was working 3 jobs. I was trying to buy as much ETH at the time. I was like, I'm going to get 32 ETH. Ended up, getting sidetracked and other things, other coins, other, NFTs and stuff like that. But I remember I was working 3 jobs. I had 2 bartending jobs. I was also, trying to be almost a full-time Twitch streamer at the same time. And I remember I was grinding myself to such a nub. I remember I showed up for a shift one time and it was like 8 p.m. They're like, you look tired. And I was just like, that's when I think I end up cutting off the 3rd job. But yeah, I was just grinding, trying to stack as much crypto. You fast forward 2 years, I was able to put a down payment on a home.
Boom.
And so, there is, if I hadn't have done that, I would have a Bitcoin.
Boom. There it is. And I don't shame anyone. Like I see the only thing that I would trade a Bitcoin for is a home, right? That's just my take on it.
It's land. Land is scarce. Bitcoin is scarce.
Right.
You know, there's like the two things they're not really making more of. If you don't count pawns in Dubai, DJ, I know where you're going to go.
And you can't live in a Bitcoin.
I was going to bring up Agartha, but
Agartha. Oh my God. So I know it's, as we go into, the only reason I'm kind of prefacing or talking about this, I wanted to bring up what is potentially on the horizon here. I'm looking for, pull this up. This is from Jeffrey Kleintop. And this is an assessment that history is going to rhyme with the inflation levels that we went through from 1966 to 1982 comparatively to our current time frame, which is measured from 2013 to 2020. And I don't know if I 100% agree with this. I'm not counting this out of the cards though. You know what I mean? As a person that thinks that things are just going to overall get better, and then this inflation.
That's 71 trigger point with going at the gold standard.
Yeah. So it's it's a unique catalyst for that that will never be replicated again because we're never going to have hard currency then debase it.
Will the CBDC do that?
Well, that's CBDC. Well, so let me kind of maybe rephrase this. All right, so we went from a hard currency to a non-hard currency. We'll never go back to a hard currency. So that occurrence will never happen again. That's my point, I guess.
Well, that's an interesting take. And that very, very well may, cause kind of the same situation. But, if it is different and things do get better, this line basically wouldn't go back up and our current situation would kind of flatten out and the inflation would cool back down to their 2% target, which is all the way down here. This is how it went in 1966 to 1982 instead. So we had 1971, we go off the gold standard, inflation comes down for some chaotic reason. And then you move into the mid 70s, you got the oil crisis. You have a couple deals cut with our U.S. government for infrastructure improvements to put people back to work, etc. And things start to come back down. And then you hit the 80s and bam. This is the point where a lot of people talk about is the nasty potential for our current Fed funding rates to increase to potentially 18%.
Well, this is what's going to happen. Like if you go out, what I was talking about yesterday, if you scale out to 40-year cycle, so like 1940 to 1980, where interest rates peaked in 1981 and then came down from 80 till 2020.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if you get those similar crests and troughs, like right now is terrible as interest rates look, they might be the next 40-year low because we did bottom out already.
Yeah.
So, and then the only way with the U.S. government taking on more debt, the only way they get out of that is printing a lot more. So you basically print and then absolve out of that and then print and then absolve. So honestly, as bad as things look right now, this might be the golden pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't think they would go down again in like 5 years?
No.
I hope they do.
We all hope they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, though.
Yeah, so far it's tracking, though. You got to give it that.
No, I saw Owen. He's highlighted DZ's Chrysler 300,
I know, I thought it was
known
cute.
as his hairline. During that 2019 period, I was working at Blockade Runner. I was a bartender at this very nice resort on the water. And an employee hit my car, didn't say anything. A little shit stain of a person, if I might go ahead and say so. And I confronted him on it. I actually had to give him a ride from the parking area because we're on the beach. There's like a employee park, and then you have the ferry. So I picked him up in the car. Well, I just didn't say anything, and I picked him up in the car, and then we're driving, and I'm like, so you weren't going to tell me about my car? And he was like, immediately he got real scared and everything. Anyway, long story short, you know what I did with that money? I bought Bitcoin. You know what everyone said? You're an idiot. I had the last laugh, folks. I had the last laugh.
There you go.
Now who has it?
The summer of 2019, if you're wondering what the price was. I don't know. It was like July-ish probably.
Like what, $1,000?
Summer of 2019. Let's look just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. Just for fun. I think I got, pretty sure I bought, okay, guys, I think I bought ETH actually. But let's just say Bitcoin just for the story's sake here. Because I was telling everybody to buy Bitcoin. I didn't want to try to tell people about alts and all that stuff. But yeah, it was like 1,300, 800. I remember like being pretty happy about it.
So summer of 2019 for Bitcoin.
Yeah, summer of 2019.
5,000.
Oh yeah, way higher than
it was. Go forward 2 months. That's May. Yeah.
Right there.
Such a
Yeah, I mean, it looks like I bought a local top. I remember that actually because I remember like thinking. I feel like this should be going up more. Like during 2019, I'm like buying bear market lows in my mind. And you can see me, I bought the top, folks. I bought July. I literally didn't know I bought the top. Hey, it seemed smart at the time. I think it was like 8, 9K. I actually kind of remember buying like some 8K. And then I remember it going down like, I guess I'll buy more. I don't know.
That's funny. I mean, I was sitting here, I was feeling like I'd missed it out completely. I watched it and I started learning about it in 2017 as it did this, run up to what it hit like $17,500 or something like that, maybe 17.5 to 19K right there. And I felt like I completely missed out. I was kind of poor. I had to work a lot to get a basket of money together. And then it did this, and while you bought, I
can't believe I bought the top there.
Jesus.
I'm like frustrated. I didn't even realize that, man.
I again thought I missed out right here. I thought I was like, man, it's done. It's back up on its way. But then someone sneezed across the world in China and turned the world upside down right here.
Do you believe that narrative?
No, I don't believe that narrative.
It did look like it was those two scientists.
It looked like they mishandled some lab samples or some weird.
I mean, those
stuff.
people left the lab and sneezed.
Yeah,
so, I mean that is technically how it happened, right?
No. Well, that's the official narrative.
Let's just say it was 3 labs: one in Geelong, Australia, one in Wuhan, China, and the other in the University of Minneapolis.
Oh, well, that's
Minnesota.
after the fact.
That started in 2010.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, after the person sneezed, I'm sure they were like, well, let's just go ahead and you sneeze over there, you sneeze over there. Yeah. But I'm saying first, I mean. It's like the chicken and the egg. Someone had to sneeze
first. As
first.
a prepper, when it came, I got my gas mask out. I was like, all right, here we go. And then they weren't telling me to cover my eyes. And I was like, you are lying about probably everything.
Yo, at one point,
you go to ENTs, don't you? Ear, nose, and throat. There's other holes that they didn't.
Your eyes.
Literally.
I know.
But
that's
aware.
so.
Yo, at one point, I was like, wear the mask because. I was like, it's protecting you from I was like, they can read your iris. They can see your whole face. If you have it covered up, it's going to be a little bit hard to like pick you out of a crowd. I was like, there's something that they're trying to protect us from. I was like, I'll wear a mask, whatever it is. But then, I don't know.
King D's got an interesting question here. And you know what? I'm kind of in the mood to answer this. So
the circle where planes don't go?
Oh, yeah.
Is it related? About the war in Africa?
Yeah. So King D is asking, I'm back to ask the same question. What do y'all think about the war in Africa? Do y'all think it'll make the U.S. dollars go up? Now, the answer to the end of that question is yes, sadly, because that's how our government seems to portray dollar valuations.
Congo, Ethiopia, not Sudan. I'm not stating it's not. I'm literally asking somewhere else. It's like
what
4
are you
or 5
asking?
Countries. The ones that are involved.
Oh, I mean, it's basically majority of Central Africa.
Yeah.
And, one thing that came to my mind is maybe this is a bid for U.S. to try to retain control through their allies, France, of the cobalt production in Central Africa. That's something that came to my mind. Now, the mainstream media came out immediately like, that's where all the uranium comes from. This is what they're looking for. But in the back of my head, I was like, that's where the cobalt that we rely on for.
I don't understand your logic there. It's like we definitely went into Afghanistan to bring in democracy. It had nothing to do with the largest lithium deposit under it. Like, I don't see how you're making a correlation.
I know.
Here's what I would say to that.
Facetious.
For people trying to say, no, it is plutonium. No, it is. It's the same thing when they fired somebody, kind of thing. I forget the example, but when you think about why someone gets fired, Tucker Carlson, that's what it was. We're all like trying to speculate. Here's the number one. Here's the why. Here's why. In your experience, when someone is fired from a job, was it for only one reason, or was there like 10 reasons? So when you're going to invade a country, is it only one reason, or are there like 10 reasons?
Yeah,
I think it was like 10 reasons.
I think just in the background, though, you think about the media's most important subject matter right now is climate. Right, and being sustainable. And if you don't have cobalt and if you don't have lithium, then you don't have the narrative of production of solar panels and systems there within, like electric vehicles, to perpetrate and continue such a narrative. So that's where that thought process essentially comes from.
Photovoltaic cells need. Oh, you're not talking about the cell itself.
You know where my mind went. So after war, what do you need to do with the country? Got to rebuild.
Oh, God.
Who's in Africa? China.
Well,
yeah.
So my whole thought when I'm seeing this is like, oh, well, China wants a conflict so they can rebuild. And then they have their Huawei or whatever, however you pronounce it, communications equipment everywhere. They have their contractors building all the bridges, all the highways that got blown up, and they got to redo them. So to me, it's like China wants this so they can come in and put a nice little Chinese sheen over their entire
Is
continent.
it them? And I'm not saying it's not. I posted in the chat that BlackRock just got like a multi-trillion.
Dude, pull it up.
Yeah.
Pull me up. Owen.
So based
Pull me
off
up.
what you're saying, I mean that's
Pull me up,
yeah.
baby.
That's a
Well,
fantastic-
this is a very bad, cynical take. I guess it's glad that some American money is going to benefit from this instead of just the CCP.
yeah.
I guess. I guess now we're talking about Ukraine, though.
Because I remember when they talked about what the trillions of, all the tons of gold that was found, that was the Chinese that found it. But I don't know who, like, with all the colonialism that happened, does China own the majority of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know who supposedly owns
Well,
what.
if they don't now, they eventually will. If they've done this discovery in a location where they have predatory loans out, and the countries will eventually default on those loans and lose their sovereignty to the actual
Well, like
land.
this was blatantly obvious because last time
Yeah.
we donated money to Ukraine, it was with a 300% return on everything. So it's like it was extremely obvious that they were going to do this again. So like I think DZ's speaking of the narrative, them doing that in Africa seems to completely make sense. Plus, it's like it is one of the most resource-rich continents out there. I think where a lot of current first world countries are probably going to start pulling out of that, where Africa's probably going to actually become a lot more dominant. So it seems like people are going ahead and moving the risk pieces into place to go ahead and get those combo rolls.
Well, that's where they're having all the babies. That's where the population's expanding.
Yep.
That's, I mean, we're not producing enough population to replenish ourselves here in the U.S. 70% of countries across the world don't have enough babies to replenish their economies.
And how many babies do you need per average per couple?
2.1.
Yeah, I was going to say 2.1.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, you need 2.1
Interesting.
because you got to replace the parents, and then I guess like accidental deaths and stuff. You got to get that 0.1 baby.
In the U.S. or that's for like everywhere?
That's just
But
for
that's
everybody because the two
replacement.
parents
Tickets.
have to replace themselves with two people, and then
True.
you do the 0.1 to make up
Sustain
for
the
accidents.
population.
Yep. Well, and BlackRock is making a killing off of Ukraine. It looks like BlackRock and J.P.
Pun
Morgan
intended.
Chase. Yeah, this is great. Are reportedly aiding.
How you
Don't
make
do that.
money is war.
You're so. Yeah, I know.
It's happened over and over and over.
I
again.
know.
War is good for the economy.
I mean, it's horrible for humanity, though. And they're aiding in the Ukrainian government, setting up a reconstruction bank. And now, obviously, reconstruction, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just concerning that it's being siphoned to BlackRock. I could see a rebuilding project building heavily invested into by private companies. Financial Times noted that it would cost Ukraine roughly $411 billion to rebuild their country as is. Keep that in mind, as is. This is as bad as it's gotten so far. Amid the onslaught of the attacks by Russia, but the cost is continuing to
Where are they
increase.
getting all the money from is my question.
IMF. It'll come
And
from
then
the
where does
IMF.
that money come from?
Oh, it's printed.
But then sometimes they do debt forgiveness deals with emerging countries. But then
Come
I'm sure
join
there's.
NATO.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, come join NATO, or give us your plutonium. you
Yeah.
know, or forgive this.
Or the word we can't. Oh, this is actually a good thing. The name we can't say that rhymes with Both mild.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Ukraine was not part of their banks, and I'm assuming that first one is a question. I'm assuming most countries in Africa are not.
I would wager that.
I mean, that
those-
is a direct question.
I
Yeah.
would pretty much say that their fingers are everywhere.
They are, but it's like throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, every single one of those countries wasn't and now is.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to kind of look at. I mean, follow the money. It's gross. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, BlackRock, the reason why I talk about this company is because I feel like they're essentially our U.S. government. So their vice chair said, so many of today's long-term challenges are best addressed through the blended finance, and this is one. Blended finance. You need these vehicles to mobilize capital at scale. BlackRock has claimed that the Ukraine needs a development finance bank. Of course, they need a bank from you guys that would provide the country with infrastructure, climate, and agricultural opportunities. What are climate opportunities? What are you going to make a new satellite system like we have or something like that? Like, what are you talking about?
What, patent number 4686605?
Pretty much. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not going to say it on stream because it got me
It
banned.
used to
off-
be owned by an oil company.
Yeah.
We'll just put it at that.
I know, with radio frequency knowledge, right? This will apparently make them more attractive to other long-term investors. JP
So them
Morgan.
being the bread belt of Europe and most of the world, wasn't incentive enough prior to this. It's like, this is such a ridiculous narrative. It's like, wait, didn't you already have all of this infrastructure? So is it more that you needed the infrastructure?
Well, they just wanted to
Or
rebuild
the
it.
underlining holders of that infrastructure needed to change? Like,
We saw them change in 2014, didn't we? We saw the
well,
big guy right in front of everyone. Hey,
depends who you ask. I mean, those recordings of the lady being like, I'm sorry, I'm going to cuss, because she literally goes, I don't give a fuck what you have to do. Get him in power.
yeah.
Like, that is not my opinion. That is not hearsay. There are literally recordings of all of this. But
And, beyond what's going on abroad, Americans are, not doing well internally. We've had, Hawaii and its devastating impact that it's had from the fires, and a lot of other disasters this year. And just in general, you need disaster relief for what's going on.
Oh, they're not on the Forbes list.
Who?
Yeah, nothing.
Who?
Right there,
Of
flat
course.
smack. I'd never
Fox.
thought about that.
I
I've
mean, they
never
never-
thought about, they're purposely omitted.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, then,
I've
Right?
never thought about that because, there's no real smoking gun. That's a smoking gun.
That's a
folks.
smoking gun
That's
right
a
there.
smoking gun.
There's-
well, speaking of a funny smoking gun in Hawaii, if you look at all the people who have bought massive amounts of land there recently
Mm.
and are about to get massive insurance claims,
Can't that just be a coincidence,
they can.
though?
Absolutely can.
I mean,
Absolutely.
aren't there 20 celebrities that buy something in Hawaii every single year?
Oh, yeah.
Going back
Oh,
to
you're
the
talking about the fire.
60s and 70s and
Yeah.
80s and 90s and 2000 and 2010.
Well,
That's
he-
probably one of those things. It's like, it's
Absolutely
probably
could
pretty
be.
explainable. Unlike, in 68, your friends commit Sudoku. That's a little unexplainable.
Yeah. Well,
Because you'll hear the,
Wait, isn't that a
they're in their
game?
70s. Of course, they know a lot of people that
Didn't you
have
mean
passed.
seppuku?
It's not that they passed, it's how they passed.
No.
Of course, every 7-year-old knows 1,000 people that have passed, but
Yeah.
not everyone knows that many boat accidents and other things like that.
Drowning in a stream.
well, we know that the accident of the last 4 years with Uncle Joe is going to need some disaster relief.
Talking about his depends. Oh, never mind.
Oh God, this is from Sean Ryan.
Wait, should we short stock on Depends when he gets out of office?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes, we should. Sean Ryan, if you don't follow him, please go follow him.
Is it my one for the month easy? Okay, cool.
Go figure. They need to put disaster relief package together for when Biden is out of office. If we recover from this disaster he created, it will be a miracle. Biden has just announced a disaster relief package to assist Americans in natural disasters. And obviously this is referring to all of the craziness going on with fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. Colorado's been nuts with tornadoes. Like, it's been a feisty year. And I'm not saying that, this is a human input that's making a massive change on these things incoming. I'm saying that these things are part of a cyclical nature of the earth. So don't try to walk me down that eco scam.
Well, Scott Adams brought up a good point. Hawaii's unique because it's surrounded by water.
Mhm.
I don't know this. I'm asking, would a 1 degree Celsius warmer, wouldn't it make it more humid and more likely to rain?
Not
I don't
positive.
know. I don't know. When
No.
you're surrounded by water, we're not talking about Kansas.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm actually not positive.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
reasonably you would think so, but it depends on where jet streams are flowing.
Yeah, I
how
guess
the-
there's so many variables.
Yeah.
I will say, is there a state in the nation that has a better emergency preparedness? I
well,
would say probably not, right? With
think
the
Texas-
volcanoes
I
and
mean, you
everything
have to.
else.
And being isolated.
Isolated volcanoes.
California
they got
has a good
the
earthquake
spam
system.
amount of spam, guys. They're going to be fine. They're okay. The refrigerator goes out. They just eat spam. So yeah, I mean, I think with their volcanoes, they already do have hurricanes. They already have bad storms. I think with all this, they probably are prepared better than the other 49 states. I'm not trying to minimize it. I just think they're probably number one in being able to deal with this.
On the federal side, it seems like they don't really have anything together, though. On the FEMA side, like when those massive tornadoes devastated towns, I think it was Louisiana and a few southern states got absolutely shellacked by some tornadoes. And there was, maybe 2 or 3 FEMA people there just filling out, like checking a little piece of paper as cars would drive by. There was no actual infrastructure. You know what's the infrastructure? The American people. There's groups.
Dog the bounty hunter keeps them in line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just dudes like that. I mean, I don't know if Dog went down there, but I follow some groups that physically deploy. They have infrastructure of groups and machinery and manpower, and they actually are the backbone of those rural communities when they're coming to their aid. You know what I mean? And it's really, I want to make this point because, it's a gigantic ineffective machine. I'll say it that way. And when things happen quickly, they don't really respond with the time frame that you would expect from FEMA. When you hear that, you're like, oh, they're going to come and
Or
save
National
me the next
Guard
day.
helping
Right.
Capitol Police, taking 72 minutes.
On a side note,
71 minutes, 72.
I'm trying to stay online.
well, here you want to hop back on. Julio asked a great question. For a question for the blockchain basement overlords, what would you do if the Satoshi wallet started moving its Bitcoin?
If I saw it within
Ooh.
seconds or minutes, opening short, selling everything. If I saw it and it's an hour later, or it happened while I was sleeping, just grabbing my ankles and crying because it's already over.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a
You
big
think it's
move.
over once things move?
No. I mean, I would. It'd be too late for me to like get back into stables and then like try to redeploy when it bottoms out, probably in weeks. I don't know.
And more than likely you'd probably miss it, right? And so, to answer that question, I'd be buying more. So because again, back to Dee's point about the overall number of millionaires and think about where technology and where commerce is going. It's turning into a digital economy.
E-com.
The more people e-commerce. You talk about this all the time,
Yo,
right?
this morning I was looking at statistics about it. I think they said by 2022 it was predicted that e-com would be 15% of all retail sales in the
It's
world.
got to be higher, right?
Yeah, it's like 17 right now. But that's gonna just
I would have actually expected the number.
Exponential.
It's
to be
going to keep
significant.
going up, and not to mention, I want to talk about this.
And I'm assuming that's because of the case that not all food and groceries are e-commerce.
Food is probably crushing that metric as well as vehicles.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's
Yeah.
offsetting it a lot.
Yeah. In-person service is getting harder and harder. I will say this. People care less and less. As a family guy, I go to kids parks. I try to take the kids out to the mall, let them experience these brick and mortar shops that we all pine on existing and keep the good fight. Guess what? They don't pay enough. People are uninterested in the job because you don't pay enough.
Drag Dubs, is it foolish to type out your seed phrase, save the document, use a printer? I would not do it just on that 0.01% chance that there is a keylogger.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice. Write it down by hand, bury it in the woods in a waterproof container is what I would suggest.
Or put it in metal.
Metal's nice too. I like those.
So that
stamped
ruin
ones.
can't affect it.
Yeah.
I know I
like
brought
those.
this up. This is a total tangent, but Brandon Sanderson, I'm always wondering if he's pro Bitcoin because a few of their like gods or entities are able to change things that are written unless it's written in metal, which I always found that kind of funny. I was like, is he a Bitcoiner and telling us to write our seed phrase in metal? It's a tangent, but
That's prepper stuff though, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, because your
Put it
house
in
can
metal.
burn down, right? You can lose that seed phrase. You need to find ways to responsibly hold on to that set of words in a secure way for the long term. You need to understand that basic concept if you're going to be a self-sovereign person that's out here messing around with large sums of money. If you're middle class like I am, you got to take those things very seriously and assume that you're going to get hacked. Assume the worst and hope for the best. It's kind of my motto to live by. And usually nothing bad happens, but guess what? I'm ready if it does. Right?
That's actually such a wild topic. Like that's something that people need to learn. Like that's a skill in our day and age, like the digital day and age. Everybody's gonna need to you need to know practice precaution and practice planning for situations that your house burns down type deal. People in crypto get it because we understand seed phrases. Not everybody maybe, but that's a skill that everybody's going to need to have as things go more digital. You're going to understand that this stuff isn't all here forever. It's not secure. Things can change.
right.
Unprecedented situations.
Absolutely. Now, okay, I got to bring this up. Who you guys got, Zuck or Elon
Oh my
Musk?
God.
All right, so did you see the development with Dana White?
What's it? You fill me in if I have.
So
if I've missed
supposedly Dana White has, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, Dana White has traveled to Rome to speak to
Yes.
Colosseum officials. Apparently he has been there. He has talked to them and the groundwork is being laid for them to actually use the Colosseum.
Can we
You don't
go?
fly across the world unless there's a there. I think there's a there there,
And the
folks.
proceeds are going to veterans.
it. Super bullish.
I'm gonna
Super
go.
bullish.
I got Elon
You got Elon? I want Elon to
Why?
win.
because I don't like. I'm a root for Elon. I don't care. I'm gonna
I
have fun
mean-
the whole time too.
you can only take ever so much HGH. It's not going to give you skill.
Yeah, but you got weight.
Go,
and if he gets a
Elon.
hold of him, right?
Well, I learned that
Doesn't
Mark
matter.
uses zinc-based sunscreen, and now I'm like, I like
Oh.
them more. I don't know, man.
Zinc-based sunscreen is that like a
The mineral
frictionless
base is the
surface?
kind that doesn't have the carcinogenic
Yeah.
ingredients.
But there's
Okay.
one thing I've learned from sparring much bigger people. Most people's fingers break the same. Now, granted, if they're doing rules, you're not allowed to attack fingers, but it's just like, I don't know. I got it on Zuck.
You got
it's
it
like,
on Zuck.
Lizards are way more slippery and
Okay.
more flexible.
And they can crawl around your back and
They
stuff.
can. They
That's
can.
what I think about.
Mhm.
I think about him crawling up Elon's back.
Ew.
Some of them have
Gross.
transdermal excretion of toxins.
Gollum?
Wants them. Yes. He burns them.
I do see Musk as Gollum, very similar creature, but he's been working out a lot. He's been training. I mean, they're both seeming
Yeah,
to take
he
it
might actually
serious.
get that neck/back surgery to like be closer to peak physical form too, because he has a really bad back injury. He had a
Who, Musk or Zuck?
yeah, Musk did.
Okay,
Musk has
yeah.
like a tweaked vertebrae or something like that. I can't remember what it came from. It was something stupid too. It was someone in chat might know how Elon injured himself.
Obviously, I'm biased against Elon because
Also
I
the
chose
reach.
this. Look at that.
I love
Musk
this.
definitely has reach on, and he's got the center.
And that's not a real photo.
I know, but I'm talking about just the reality of the person. So his center of his body is much, much bigger than.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk has some stupid like birthday party or something, and got a freaking sumo wrestler to come, and then like during the birthday celebration, wrestled the sumo wrestler and hurt his back.
Yeah.
It's
Did he
actually
really?
like kind of funny but stupid.
He like rented a whole.
Sounds
he
like
rented a whole
Elon.
castle and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
got sumo wrestlers, and they had.
God.
Didn't they have that thing where like the person's on the thing like rotating, the jackknives? He's
Chat,
crazy.
Let us know who's going to win this. Chat always figures this out before we do. Who is going to win the battle between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, if
Let
all the
us
money's
know.
going to the veterans win.
That's so. God.
There you go.
God.
Shout out to the veterans.
Shout out to the veterans, man. They get ignored too much.
I would have joined the military. I don't know about would have. I was very, very close, but then we invaded Iraq.
Wait, Ryan
Yeah?
has L5
I was
just
very
replaced?
pro, taking down Osama. Not so much the other guy, Saddam.
That's actually pretty scary. Well,
What's
no,
that?
not L5. C5's really scary to have replaced. L5 sucks, but it's not great.
Oh, the disc
Because if
replacements?
you're having C5, I believe most of the ganglion that go out to control your heart and everything are between 5 and 6 or 6 and 7, but he's lumbar, so still sucks, but way less of a scary surgery.
I got something jacked up in my neck every day. I'm like, I'm all popping it.
Wait.
Popping that little boy. Whoa!
All right, who wins between Paul Pelosi and Mitch McConnell?
Paul is going to lose.
Yeah. Oh,
I
right.
think Paul's going to lose. He got his ass kicked. By
It depends
some-
if the fight's on a boat or not.
and it depends if the other
soon?
the attacker has a hammer or not.
Oh, Jesus. That wasn't too soon.
That was my
You
god.
can hear that? You don't hear it?
No.
All right, so a lot of
Oh my
people,
God.
voting for Elon here.
Yeah, well, and it's probably because they're happier with Elon because he lets us speak freely, right, in the digital sphere.
Or does he make you think you're speaking freely?
He's let me speak freely. I say the most.
All right, so
cringy
Mind Your
stuff ever.
Biz has Musk due to weight advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he tweeted. I
Okay.
believe.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna be excited for that match, man. Really hope you pull through for us, Musk.
I don't know. You hip toss somebody with back surgery once, fight's probably over.
Yeah, but I don't know. Can he really hip toss that much weight?
Are you
Can-
serious? Weight does not matter with a hip toss
Yeah, but he's-
at all.
Y'all,
All right, I'm
just
just
imagine
saying.
the outcome. Like, if Zuck wins, if Elon wins, woo!
I
Like, we're
know,
having
yeah,
a party,
I know.
baby.
Great. The Lizard Overlord won. Congratulations.
Yay,
You beat us
everybody
down
go
again.
home, like-
Congratulations.
If Elon wins, we got a castle. We got sumo wrestlers.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, I think I want to talk about this glitch here. This is kind of weird. And
$50 order book
Yeah.
being bought up, or was it a glitch?
right? Like another weird
On
coincidence came out.
XRP? Yeah.
Mr. Pool glitch and Gemini glitch looking the same way. $50 per XRP confirmed. Real price hidden under private ledger. And I know we looked at this a little bit in the morning, but I kind of get tired of us just like trying to find something to be excited about over this glitch, right? Like, you know that it's fake. Like, does anyone remember when Coin Market Cap or Coin Gecko had that glitch and I was a trillionaire for an hour? Right? I mean, it's not real.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You know, it's not a real situation. So this is just a sign of the times. You guys are bored. It's okay. You know, there's a lot of things that we brought up here in today's show that should make you not bored because there's a lot going on in the world. Now, $50 per XRP. Is that ever a reality? DZ, what are your thoughts? And then I'm leaving this time frame open.
Yes. With that very thin order book, it is very much a reality. Somebody who sold them for $50 made some money. I think they only sold 100 tokens or something. So if you have an order book, you have a bunch of, XRP you're selling at 65 cents. There's 1,000 people selling 1,000 XRP at that moment. Well, what happens if you buy all that up and then it's whoever put it up at 66 cents? Maybe there's only 200 people and they only put up 100 XRP. You buy that up, you keep going up, you keep going up. So if you got a very thin order book, you can run it up to $1 trillion in theory.
I feel like that's something we never talk about.
That is, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because this just happened, and we looked at it this morning. It's kind of an interesting subject. And now, $50, 4 or 5 decades or 3 decades, maybe as soon as from now, might not be out of the cards for this technology if it is adopted. So I want to say that. I know that we're all looking within this cycle or the next cycle, but if you broaden your mindset, if you have children, if you have, people in your sphere that are going to be outlasting you and you want them to have a chance at, not being victims of the own nothing and be happy, you might want to think about the forest through the trees. And that's why I bring this up, is because if this technology does grasp international payments in even a toenail of a degree and begins to build out from there in this next cycle, it's one of the longest standing cryptocurrencies out there.
Wait. What if Klaus Schwab is really the Buddha and he's just trying to help us?
No, don't.
With oneness, not lamenting and not dealing with, being one with impermanence and not having things and material goods. Maybe he's just Buddhist.
He wants material goods.
He does. I'm totally playing.
His dad made American POWs make weapons to be used against the American forces. He loves making goods and selling goods.
Because he's a Nancy?
He's a Nancy. So there's that, so don't get
Is that
fooled
beach
by him.
picture real?
The beach picture of Hawaii?
Of Klaus.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Him
that
on a
beach.
beach?
I don't know.
It's like wearing a dress or like a weird, excuse my language, a slutty maid outfit looking thing.
There's no
It's a
way.
weird guy.
Yeah,
There
you
is
haven't seen
no
that? How do you
I'm
not-
reading the
How do you? Oh, man.
Fourth
I
Industrial
haven't seen
Revolution.
Yeah, you can't pull it up.
Hold on. Don't pull up my screen. This might get
Sid Hart's
weird.
my hero.
Can't pull it up.
Hold on. Klaus
Schwab
Beach.
Why Buddha, not Krishna? Just because Krishna, I am talking on my ass here. I don't think R is much about
Dude,
impermanence.
this could be anyone.
Yeah. When you're that age, you kind of all start looking like a
All right, Owen,
sausage.
you can go ahead and take it real quick.
You all kind of look like a sausage there. So
Just real quick. Just a touch.
yeah, there's no nudity.
Yeah. It's not
Ew,
nude,
what the
technically.
what
This
It
could
looks
be
All right,
beautiful.
that's enough.
Whoa.
That's enough. Well, that was way
that
too
could
long.
be anyone. That could be anyone.
It was covered,
Klaus Schwab.
folks. It was covered.
Don't get Casey Cato on that because it looks like the glove does fit. So I'm not sure we have to quit on that one.
But when people get worked up about me talking about, not expecting a $50 or $100 XRP, I'm referring to within the next few cycles. Now, if you have children, if you are talking to people that you think are going to exist beyond where you are, you have to look at what are the most institutionally accepted type of cryptocurrencies and useful blockchains that are out there. If you're thinking for the super long term, XRP does fall within that mindset for me. I know that we get super excited, and maybe it is that you see the future a lot faster than the future comes. Maybe you're paying attention to things that haven't happened this decade, but you're 100% correct about happening the decade after. That happened to me with COVID and panty season. And I was prepared for it because when it came, I didn't need to go to the grocery store. I didn't have the FOMO spending thousands of dollars on pew pew. I had it. I was already ready for it. So then I could go ahead and deploy my funds into the next speculation that I have, which is that this economy is turning digital and we are needing things immediately. And that's where the use case of blockchain just flat out is. And then you can go beyond that and start talking about, your Brave browser, and you can make advertisers pay you to show you their product. There's all kinds of things that we can expand about that in this space, but you have to kind of start off with that baseline understanding of where the world is moving from here.
Well, Bad Religion said it the best a long time ago. I'm an analog boy in a digital world.
I'm excited to play a show. Do you think I haven't sang in like a year and a half, and I don't know what to expect, but I feel like
I do the man of constant borrow.
Well, that's not the same. It's not like you know what I mean. Like that's not serious shit. You know, that's just like getting along and playing.
Are you gonna
guitar.
be like, what is it, Alex the Terrible?
Alex the Terrible?
Do you know what I'm talking about? That Russian band.
No, I better look him up though. By the way,
pretty
you're looking.
Hey, Yoga, thank you for the $3.99 super chat. By the way,
Absolutely,
Yoga pants.
Appreciate you. The silhouette.
And to the person, yes, the DAG Casper comparison was not accurate. However, it is like ranked 75, 85. So yeah, I'll do best. I'll do better to learn about Casper. But I got 75 tokens. I got to research before I get to it.
Yeah.
So, and everything's relative, folks.
Yeah, I mean Casper, like that's why I leave it at the frame of, you know, it's a narrative of needing data encryption and all this stuff for DAGs, right? So I don't say that it's a sure thing and it's going to win everything. I just say that there's specific companies that are probably going to want to have a spread out chaotic infrastructure of information so that they are more difficult to hack. That's probably going to happen. It's the same thing why I believe in NCT, Polyswarm. Is because it's a utility token. Every time a major company gets a bunch of malware, the price goes up because they have to burn the tokens to be able to check the systems for malware. So I see that as a utility token that is not taking over everything. But as I see those things go up and down, I build my own support levels on my own reasonable investing plan, and I take profits accordingly because you cannot live inside of paper money.
We're taking profits?
We're taking profits. We're taking profits. And you know, best thing to do, in my opinion, homes, chickens,
school your children.
School. Yeah, well, dude, that's God. I mean, like, yeah, I love doing this job so much, so I'd probably keep doing it. But if I didn't love my job and I had to pay off house and all that stuff, I would be schooling my children right now. But I got lucky with the school district that they're in. So, you know, I just count my blessings there. They seem to enjoy it. And there's a good degree of social interaction that your kids need to have within society to be
not weirdos.
Not weirdos. There you go.
Let's just say it.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I will just say that. Absolutely. And let's see here what I want to end with. Oh, yeah. This is what happens to Chinese people after CBDCs are instituted. Let's check this out. I
didn't know where that was going.
Let's pull this up.
You mean the citizens?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, the jaywalking thing.
Oh, got her, dude. Oh, no. Oh. So, just so you guys know, do not jaywalk in China. You will be shamed.
Public
You'll get public shamed.
And they deduct from the balance.
Yeah,
they deduct from your bank.
From you.
They take your money and they publicly shame you if you jaywalk.
They literally take your money if you jaywalk. Like if you think it's bad to be treated, poorly by some, police officer because, they saw you jaywalking and you resisted arrest and you got slammed at the ground. That's one thing, okay? But if you literally are just automatically deducted on your value that you have as a person because an automated system is able to see anything and everything that is wrong with society and take money accordingly, that is where the extreme danger comes into life, right? There's many of us across the U.S. are dissenting against what's going on in the White House, right? What if it's automatically able to deduct accordingly, right? Then they will learn to grow dependent on your dissent and your tax dollars and your payments for what your thoughts are and what your actions are online. And those actions that are online right now, pay attention. It's not that it's coming, it is here. Go look at the 75-year-old guy that was, basically crippled that the FBI dusted this week. Go look at that. Look it up.
He had a pretty crazy Facebook post. Can we say that? Did you see the Facebook post?
Compared to what people said about Biden.
Well, the guy, if those who don't know, he literally said, "It's time to get my ghillie suit out and my rifle." That's a little much, man.
Think about what people said about Trump.
I mean, some people.
I know, and some people were prosecuted. I don't want to talk about what about is just this specific guy. I mean,
he was a little
don't.
Feisty.
I think that's he didn't just say I hate that guy or FJB.
He was a little feisty.
It was a little much, man.
He was a little feisty.
Ghillie suit. He named the actual gun he was going to use, and did he say a location? He might have said, like, I'm going to be in the bush near the intersection.
He didn't
or
say
something.
location. The thing is, he
That was
wasn't
a
at the
little-
location, DZ. He wasn't at the location, right?
People, but like,
Right.
like, how many people get behind their phones and they say whatever
vent.
they want? They literally they don't care because they're not talking to anybody. They're behind their little device. Like,
I think there's a level of specifics, and once you reach that, it's like you do the. I want enforcement actions to be taken. Like, hey, I'm going to be at your house Tuesday, 10 p.m. at this address, and my machete is going to slice into your neck.
Yeah,
that's
but
that is not protected speech. Spoiler, you can't communicate threats like that. So I think there is a level. Now, I effing hate that guy. I wish he'd die. I don't think that should be illegal. But when you're like specific time, place, manner of murdering mechanism, they're all right. Now maybe we're crossing a line.
But the difference is, it probably
Where's the line? That's the
probably
question.
deserved a conversation first, right? Before showing up like you're breaking.
Oh, they
into the
murdered
house.
him.
Yeah,
I'm
there
not
was a
saying they
conversation
didn't murder
between
him.
lead
They murdered him.
his frontal lobe.
They murdered him.
they needed
That's
to
clear. They
speak.
murdered him.
Yeah,
I just want to say it was a bad
I'm
Facebook
like-
post.
there's plenty of people that have said like some out of pocket, whatever, and they've just like skirted by. Like, I don't know. That's
How about knock on the door, say, hey, I saw you do this, what's going on? Are you okay? Right? Is everything going on all right? Check out the background history. If there's no actual movement of physical intention to do so, you probably don't have anything, right? Don't kick the door open in the middle of the night and do that. So that is what my thoughts are on it. And, it seems like there will never be anything done to the people that came against the alternative option, which will be coming back in true to pay fashion shortly. I know Vivek. I like Vivek. I like Vivek, but I don't think he's got it against Trump. Who's got it against Trump? You know what I mean?
Well, that's a loaded question. I think there's a discussion that should be had. Will Trump bring out more adversarial votes than Vivek? And so, that's where I'm kind of leaning at.
I mean, like, it would be great. Like, I will just play devil's advocate. Vivek, I agree with everything he said, and I like what he said. It would also be great to have a politician that isn't,
75 or older.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, that would be really great. Because I feel like yes, there's a lot of knowledge that comes with age, but I think we're in a feisty time. And we need a feisty leader. And the last time we had a feisty leader, I felt like it was JFK. We saw what happened with that. You know what I mean? He was a young guy. He was really, really popular. And he was very centered so that, both the right and the left could really.
That's a great point. His business has not returned any profits. Neither did Amazon for 15 years. It was $8 billion valuation. Sometimes at growth level, you spend so much more than you're earning with revenue to get to that 10 billion. Really, to get to $1 billion valuation, your growth has to be, kind of pretty high. And so, yeah, I would say bigger than it not returning a profit. It's more impressive that it was an $8 billion company. So that easily dwarfs the fact that there's no profits. Also, it was a patent buying company where their business model is buying patents. Isn't that going to be a 20, 30-year return? So I would not look at his companies having returned a profit. To me, that's not a big deal at all.
Right. You got to make a profit to stay in business. Right.
No, I mean, you can just keep funding it and operate at a loss for decades.
Yeah,
like Amazon.
If you got deep enough pockets, you can absolutely do so. And and I've seen companies I felt like did that to really grab a control of the market ahead of its real.
Here's what I would say about Vivek. He's operated this long, and as far as I know, I can't really name one mistake he's made.
Mm-hmm.
My other favorite candidate, RFK, he made a mistake on the gun thing, and there was one other thing I disagreed with. I haven't seen Vivek make a real mistake where you point to it and you're like, oh, that was not good. I can't believe you did that.
But I knew that thing with the two-way was coming from RFK. Like I said, I've been following RFK since way before it was cool.
He gets a pass with his dad and uncle. He gets a pass on strong feelings about guns. Yeah. I don't agree with him, but if anyone were to have strong feelings, it's someone whose father and uncle were assassinated with guns.
Total side note, Mike Bennett, I'm pretty sure Trump was not a Mason. Fairly confident on that. Not positive.
Really? You're confident on that? You think...
I don't think he was.
Okay.
I don't think he was.
I mean, I'm not betting money on it.
I haven't seen the Meet Kevin videos at for or against. I might have to check it out.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah. Shout out Nakudo and Crimson Caravan. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Before we end the show,
Gang.
Guys, we are getting close to 15,000 likes or 15,000 subscribers on the basement here. Make sure to smash the like on the way out.
Sorry, Big Daddy on the campaign trail. Good point.
Let's see here. We're at 14. 0.8 thousand subscribers. Make sure to go to our Discord, find the link we dropped for the NFT. We are going to be done with the NFT minting once we hit 15,000 subscribers. So make sure to find us in Discord, find that link, and get you one. You just pay the gas fee for the Ethereum to mint it. So with that, God, we went over again. There's a lot to talk about. We unpacked a lot.
We started at 120.
No, did we?
Well, 118.
Oh, then we're right on time. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Crimson Caravan, Ryan Adams, Anderson, Faden, Tradfi, Sin Diesel, Big Daddy, Mark Smitherson, Julio, Julio.
Anderson. Ryan Adams is an artist. Anyway,
Ryan Adams. He's a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
There's a Brian Adams.
Nakudo the Gamer, Yellow Pan 34, Mike Bennett, Veteran Crypto, Big Daddy. What the hell is going on here?
Whoa.
He's trying to be artistic.
Oh my God, he did. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're like a cool, we're a cool Twitch streamer now.
Look at you.
It's angled.
Do a selfie shot of you. I want to show yourself.
This is your
Look
moment.
at this is a big moment for Owen.
Oh yeah, Kevin. I forgot Kevin's running for office. He's probably part
Meet
of
Kevin
the
is?
Meet Kevin. Remember, he was like supposed. I don't know if it's true or not. I bet he's Team Newsom.
You think so?
What do you think?
Probably.
Probably.
He's still in commie form.
Man, anybody Team Newsom can go suck an egg. What?
But isn't Newsom who beat him in the California gubernatorial race?
All the
That
more
feels like
reason to
such a
come.
fake
All
word.
the more reason to kiss his ring.
Yeah, he's a California cuck. That's what they do. All right, here we go.
A feet wine merchant.
Until next time, have a great weekend, everyone. Kiss your loved ones, touch grass, and until next time, we bid you.
No, you can't stand him.
Dos Vidanium.
I'll look into Meet Kevin.